Tonight we report on a human-caused outside fire near Moses Lake, and dead fish get dumped at the Surf and Slide Water Park. What's happening in sports, Bob?
Plenty, Amber. The Spuds Open League play against Wenatchee, and 3 ex-Huskies qualify for the U.S. Open. Let's take a peek at our Weather Center forecast.
Hello everyone, I'm Cristina Sanchez. Once again, we did have record-breaking high temperature across the area. We do expect a cool down. I'll let you know just how much just ahead with your extended forecast.
I'm Amber Jinks, and we have all this and much more on iFiber One News.
From the iFiber One HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFiber One News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFiber One News, and it starts now.
An outside fire burned roughly 20 acres along the hillside by State Route 17 near Moses Lake on Sunday night. Grant County Fire District 5 responded to report a fire at about 8 p.m. The fire started by the Moses Lake shoreline near Napel Road northeast. Several trees caught fire along with sagebrush. Battalion Chief Rick Wentworth said on Monday that firefighters were able to contain the flames in about 15 minutes. Firefighters were on the scene until about 1 a.m. No property was damaged and no injuries were reported. Wentworth said the fire is under investigation. It was a dog day on Monday as temperatures soared past the old record of 91 and reached 103 degrees. The iFiber One News Weather Center tracked the incredible heat and predicts temperatures to remain in the 90s through Thursday. The temperature was slightly cooler at the Grant County International Airport with a high of 101 degrees. Today was projected to 100 degrees, which breaks the record of 92 that was set in 1965. People are taking to Moses Lake, rivers, and pools to beat the heat and are probably happy to hear the temperatures are set to return toward normal next week. For more details, stay tuned and watch today's report from the iFiber One News Weather Center. A woman was reportedly held against her will in Mexico for 5 years after running away with a 17-year-old boy. Prosecutors charged Sergio Rodriguez Jr., a 32-year-old California man, in Grant County Superior Court with rape of a child in second degree. The victim started having a relationship with 17-year-old Rodriguez when she was 13. She reported Rodriguez convinced her that her parents weren't taking care of her, so she ran away with him in 2000. He reportedly coerced her into having sex. Police reported the age difference between her and Rodriguez made the act a crime. She allegedly had her first child 8 months later and a second child roughly 4 years later. The victim's parents reported she ran away, and police and FBI tried to find her. She returned to Quincy in 2014 and reported the incident to Quincy police. AT&T cell phone users are reporting problems when they try to call the Multi-Agency Communication Center's non-emergency number. The center dispatches police officers, firefighters, and ambulances across Grant County. Dispatchers began noticing problems on Saturday morning when people were trying to contact the center at 509-762-1160. The dispatchers could hear the person calling, but the person couldn't hear them. The issue seemed to be isolated to people using AT&T cell phones. It is not affecting the center's 911 service or the center's other non-emergency number, 1-888-431-9911. Center officials are trying to determine what is causing the problem and don't have an estimated time until it is fixed. Now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be right back after this.
What's white and yellow and red all over? If you said the local book telephone directory, the one with the purple sunset on the cover, then you're right. In print and online at statewideyp.com, it features up-to-date local maps, community information, and a calendar of events. With a restaurant dining guide with full local menus and a reverse directory, you're sure to find the number you're looking for. It's the best way to get the information you need. Pick up a copy of the local book today or visit statewideyp.com. Have you been to ifiber1.com? The most up-to-date news in the Columbia Basin is just one click away. With news, sports, and weather, you can stay in the know with what's going on in your community. Read your news on the go by visiting ifiber1.com on your tablet or even your phone. Follow us on Facebook for quick updates and discuss the news with others in our area. Your number one news source in the Columbia Basin is ifiber1.com. Check it out today.
Hello everyone, I'm Cristina Sanchez with your local weather, brought to you by iFiber1's Inside Look. You can watch it today on ifiber1.com. We're still breaking those record high temperatures, not only yesterday, also today and once again tomorrow. Very warm temperatures across the area, around 20 to 25 degrees above average. We do expect to have a gradual decrease in temperatures as we head into this weekend. For Friday, Saturday, we'll be right around the low to mid 80s across our Columbia Basin, but still bouncing back up into the upper 80s as we begin the next work week, then dropping back into the low 80s, which is still way above normal for this time of year. We did start off the day in the upper 60s. Our average low is in the low 50s. For today's high, right around 100 degrees. Average high temperature is in the upper 70s, but our record high temperature was back in 1965 and it was right around the low 90s, 92 degrees as the high. And for you in Moses Lake, you did start off the day above 70 degrees in the low 70s. Average low is in the low 50s. That's about 20 degrees above the normal low temperature. And 100 degrees as the high. Average high is in the upper 70s, and your record high temperature was back in 1969, and the record high was 90 degrees, so breaking it by about 10 degrees. And for us here in Ephrata right now, temperatures are still pretty hot in the upper 90s. If you're still getting out there, of course, stay hydrated, drink plenty of water, and wear that sunscreen. Winds are blowing from the west-northwest between 10 and 15 miles an hour. We do expect to stay pretty dry within the next few days, since we do have a high-pressure system over us that is bringing dry conditions. There's still some showers going on in Oregon, cloud cover, but for us, we'll continue to stay pretty dry all throughout the rest of the week into the weekend and as we begin the next work week. However, temperatures will be dropping, thankfully, right around the low to mid 80s within the next few days. So still very hot day tomorrow once again. Then for Friday, we'll be right around the low to mid 80s across the area. Low 80s for Seattle with plenty of sunshine. In the Yakima Valley, high temperatures right around the upper 90s, and still very hot temperatures in the inland northwest with high temperatures in the low 90s, plenty of sunshine. And for us here in the Columbia Basin, we still have warm temperatures in the upper 90s throughout this Wednesday afternoon. Slight decrease in temperatures, but for Thursday, upper 80s, then low 80s for Friday and Saturday. So still very hot temperatures once again on Wednesday. Stay hydrated once again, and within the next 7 days we will have a brief break from the very warm temperatures. However, the low and upper 80s are still well above normal for this time of year. Low temperatures will be right around the mid to upper 60s. Thank you for being with us. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with sports.
You don't have to drive to Seattle for exceptional cancer care. Confluence Health's cancer program delivers world-class care close to home. We have a highly experienced oncology team in a state-of-the-art facility, and we're a member of the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, which gives our patients access to world-renowned therapies developed at Fred Hutchinson, the University of Washington Medicine, and Seattle Children's. Together with the SCCA, we're delivering world-class cancer care close to home.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
The Spuds opened AAA American Legion Conference play with a two-game sweep of the Wenatchee Apple Packers.
The team took the opener 5-4 in 10 innings in triple-degree heat last night at Larson Field. Wenatchee brought a runner across the plate in the top of the first to take the early lead. The Spuds responded with 3 in the home half of the frame. The Apple Packers hung 2 on the board in the third to knot it 3-all. Both teams added a run late to send the game to extra innings. A suicide squeeze in the bottom of the 10th was the decider for the Spuds. Chase Tunstall got the start. Cameron Ball earned the win.
The Spuds came from behind to take the nightcap 7-4. Wenatchee jumped up top 3-0 in the first. The Spuds battled back to take a 5-4 lead in the fifth. The team added 2 more in the sixth to seal it. Tunstall went 4 2/3 innings to pick up the win. Jason Cole retired the Apple Packers in order in the seventh to record the save. 3 University of Washington golfers have advanced to play in the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay. The former Huskies swept the 3 berths at the Tumble Creek sectional qualifier at Suncadia. Chen Sung Pang finished first at 2 under, while Richard Lee and Troy Kelly tied for second at 1 under. Pan ended his UW career last week, finishing second at the NC2A Championships. He made birdies on 3 of his final 4 holes at Tumble Creek. Richard Lee went to Newport High School in Bellevue and graduated from the University of Washington in 2010. Troy Kelly is from Bremerton and finished playing for the UW in 2001. He was the NCAA Championship runner-up in 1999. Kelly has played in the U.S. Open once before in 2005 at Pinehurst. The former Dogs will be crowd favorites next weekend at Chambers Bay. The U.S. women national team held off Australia 3-1 in World Cup action. The Aussies came out firing, but U.S. keeper Hope Solo was up to the challenge.
Left back spot as it's cut back inside. A shot by Van Egmond. Solo got a piece. Crossbar may have gotten the rest. Australia nearly had one early. Davana spinning around. Game. And the Knight setting it in. Save Solo. Incredible. Incredible.
Bad defending by Krieger. She got ball watching. The player ran in behind her and saved Solo. Big time save. This was a pretty good shot by Kerr.
Megan Rapinoe scored twice for the U.S. Kristen Press got the other goal. We'll be back after this break.
Hello, my name is Cheryl Kono. I am your local Ephrata Farmers Insurance Agent. Here at Cheryl Kono Insurance Agency, our customers always come first. We don't just work here, we live here. Please stop by the office, call, email, or Facebook me for a free auto, home, life, business, or farm and ranch quote today. We are insurance. We are farmers. Come in for a free quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Our spotlight story tonight is about a Moses Lake artist who is using a unique talent to carve statues out of tree stumps. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
Moses Lake artist Francisco Kiki Zuniga picked up a chainsaw for the first time a month ago and started carving statues from tree stumps. His first attempt at the art form was a rooster cut from a V-shaped stump. He quickly moved on to his second work of art, a band of mariachis carved from 5 poplar tree stumps. The work is finely detailed, right down to the poplar roots he used to give hair and mustache to one of the figures. Hidden away, you can find cactus, jugs of tequila, even a plate of limes.
Dwayne, he owns this park, and he had some trees that had broken, fallen, and he had the stumps, and I just happened to tell him one day that I could make a mariachi band out of it. And at first, you know, it seemed like he didn't believe me, but I did the first mariachi, and he was like, wow, you know, you should do the rest of them.
Chainsaw carving seems to come naturally for Zuniga.
Well, actually, I just happened to tell Rolando, a friend of mine, that this stump here looked like a rooster, so actually this is the first time I've ever used a chainsaw to make some artwork, and this is what it turned out to look like. Pretty simple. For me, I mean, it just comes natural, I guess, you know, because I see it, you know. I mean, I saw them, I knew what they were going to look like before I even started them, you know. So, I mean, I can't explain it, but, you know, it's there in my head.
The statues can be found at Zamora Park, a private recreation area hidden away in an industrial zone near State Route 17. The Moses Lake Park is owned by the Zamora family, which uses it for private events. Dwayne Zamora, a Moses Lake Construction Company owner, recalled how he learned about Zuniga's project at his family's park.
I go, Roland, what's that kid doing over there chopping on that tree? And Roland goes, just leave him alone. He says he's going to do a rooster or some kind of bird. I said, oh, okay. About a couple hours later, you know, I came and I see the actual figure of I said, whoa, let him keep going, Roland.
Rolando Adame, the park's groundskeeper and Zuniga's friend, said he was impressed with the artist's speedy work.
We're sitting at the kitchen table, and he looked out the window and said, I see a rooster. And I said, I see a slingshot. And then he says, you got a chainsaw or something I can cut it with? I said, I got a little one. And so 2.5 hours later or so, he had a shape of a rooster out there, that fast. I was amazed by his work and speed of it, too.
The park, which overlooks a natural area and wetlands, is seeing some upgrades, with Zamora building a fountain near the park's bandstand. Zuniga said a decorative fence and lighting will be placed around the mariachi statues. Zuniga says he's an artist for hire, with painting portraits being his first love. Zuniga can be contacted through Zamora's company, Big Max Construction, at 509-771-3595. I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.
We will be right back after this.
Just when I thought the blizzard couldn't get any better, DQ put the blizzard inside a waffle cone. This is mind-blowing. So when DQ asked me how I would tell the world, I said... Sounds better in Italian.
Pretty impressive, Liz. Any blizzard, like confetti cake, now in a fresh-baked waffle cone. This is fan food, not fast food.
At Moses Lake Community Health Center, we have had the privilege to serve the local communities since 1978.
What I like about working at this clinic more than any other clinic that I've worked at is the patient care. With the patient care team that we've assembled, it allows us to take care of as many facets of the patient and their family's needs.
Please take the opportunity to experience the high-quality care provided at our clinics.
Welcome back. Dead fish and sand were found dumped into the pool at the Surf and Slide Water Park. According to Moses Lake Police, on Monday, someone entered the water park on Friday night and threw several carp and at least 2 buckets of sand into the pool. City employees later found someone broke into the surf shop and pried open the sunglasses display. 10 pairs of sunglasses and 8 watches are missing. Police did not find any signs of forced entry into the property, and it's possible the building was left unlocked overnight. The Moses Lake and Yowanzawa Sister City Exchange is holding an outdoor dinner and live auction to raise money for students' expenses. The event is June 18th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 2730 West Marina Drive. The Sister City Exchange is one of the longest-running programs in the United States and continues after 34 years. All proceeds from the event help send students to Japan for an educational and cultural exchange. 3 students from Moses Lake are spending 1 week in Yowanzawa. After they return, students from Yowanzawa come to Moses Lake for a visit. Tickets are $35 per person or $250 for a table of 8. For more information or to buy tickets, call Terry Moore at 509-989-2287. State auditors did not find any problems during their audit of the Moses Lake School District. The Washington State Auditor's Office recently released its report for the 2013-2014 school year. The state auditors conduct regular audits for government agencies, looking at compliance with stats and federal laws. The auditors looked at the district's enrollment reports, teachers' education and experience reports, general disbursements, and learning assistance programs. In Northwest News, talk about a happy reunion. A firefighter in Washington saved a baby who almost died in a house fire. 17 years later, he is on hand to watch her head toward adulthood. KOMO's Michelle Esteban has the story.
The room was full of smoke, hot smoke.
The fire was out of control, and firefighters had no idea when they arrived on scene that a baby was trapped in her crib surrounded by fire.
Another 20 seconds and it would have been a different outcome.
Mike Hughes had a hunch. The first room he checked, he found the 9-month-old in her crib and overwhelmed by smoke inhalation.
But this was a special deal. I mean, this is a rare, very rare occurrence, the way the situation worked out.
So special that 7 years ago, Hughes, who is now retired, was compelled to reconnect with that bond that he made for the first time 17 years ago.
For some reason, it just doesn't really feel like me. I mean, that's obviously me, but it's just really hard to believe sometimes.
He found Danielle on Facebook, and they have stayed in touch ever since. And on this, the next biggest milestone in her young life, high school graduation, she wanted the man who helped to make it possible to be here too.
Really emotional. I don't really know how to describe it. I guess they're happy tears, just to realize that, some things could have gone wrong.
Started out a little bit rough, and then she's made it all the way through high school now, so she's successful and happy, so I think that's perfect.
That's going to do it for us here at I-501 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.